welcome to a new vlog and trip report. Today we're taking a look at the Wieslauf Valley Railway. We are going from Schorndorf to Welzheim, and here on the map you can see our route today. It is a very special route today, as there are usually no modern trains between Rudersberg and Welzheim, the second part of the railway line. But today, to a very special occasion, there was a train going all the way from Schorndorf to the end of the line at Welzheim. Here we can see the city center of Schorndorf, which is very beautiful due to a lot of half-timbered houses. And now we are making our way to the station, and there we can take a look at the arrival of my train today, which is a RegioShuttle of the WEG train company. Today there are two RegioShuttles coupled together, and those are the newest trains of this train company on this train line, both of them in service since 2025. They are not brand new, but they have been refurbished. And I will now tell you why this is such a special train, and that all begins with a high water situation in 2024. During this extreme high water, a big part of the railway line got destroyed, and also all trains of the company got damaged or even destroyed. There were NE81 trains and those RegioShuttles. All four NE81 were completely destroyed, and the RegioShuttles were unable to operate. They had to be fixed. So the two trains we are traveling on right now were trains that were ordered but not delivered yet, so they were not damaged. So those were the first trains that can operate again. But also it took a while to repair the railway line. It was only opened in April 2025 until Rudersberg, and the whole length of the regularly operated line until Rudersberg-Oberndorf was opened in September 2025. It was then not sure if the steep part of the railway line to Welzheim, which is only used for heritage trains, can even be reopened, but finally on the 1st of May 2026 the railway line was reopened also until Welzheim. There were special heritage trains on the 1st of May and the 3rd of May, and we were traveling on the 2nd of May, and this was the only day where the modern trains were going to Welzheim to celebrate the reopening of the railway line after it has been repaired. In the meantime, we have also reached the part from Rudersberg-Oberndorf to Welzheim, which is usually not operated by the RegioShuttles. And as you can see, it is getting quite steep directly at the beginning. It has an incline of 25 per mil, which is very steep for a railway line. And that's also one of two reasons why this part of the railway line is not operated on a regular basis. Here you can see the trains coming to a stop, and that was because our engines were overheating. That was announced by the train driver, that we had to wait for a few minutes as the train was extremely crowded. It was a very busy day, a lot of people were using the trains, so it was a quite heavy train. It is a very steep railway line, and we had almost 30 degrees outside, so it was a bit too much even for the strong engines of the RegioShuttle. Here we are reaching the Igelsbach Viaduct, one of the most impressive sights of the railway line, except for the nature, of course. And now, of course, there's also a second reason why this railway line is only operated with heritage trains. And that's because we are in the middle of nature. There are no big cities nearby, and the only big city between Rudersberg-Oberndorf and Welzheim is Welzheim itself. And from Welzheim there are much faster buses to Schorndorf than the trains, because the trains make a huge detour to go to Rudersberg, whilst the buses are going in a direct line and are therefore much faster. So there have been many calculations, but apparently it does not make any economical sense to reactivate this railway line on a regular basis. Here we're coming to a stop again because the engines were overheating again, so we had to wait a few minutes to let them cool down a bit. Very close to Laufenmühle. There are also two more viaducts on the railway line, the Strümpfelbach Viaduct and the Laufenmühle Viaduct, and then we are reaching Breitenfürst. Breitenfürst is also quite interesting, as there is a restaurant that is using old railway cars as dining rooms. Here we can see the station of Breitenfürst, and here we can also see this interesting restaurant. Now we've also managed to get up the steep part of the railway line. Now we're on top of the mountain, so it's not that challenging anymore for our engines, and we can make it to Welzheim. The last regular passenger train between Schorndorf and Welzheim on the whole length of the line was running in 1980. Since then this railway line was closed, and since 2010 there are the heritage trains, which are mostly running on Sundays in the summer season. And by the way, there are no regular trains on the railway line on Sundays at all, so trains are only running from Monday to Saturday between Schorndorf and Rudersberg-Oberndorf, and on Sundays in the summer season there are trains between Schorndorf and Welzheim operated by steam locomotives. But in the wintertime there are no trains at all on this railway line on Sundays. Here we are approaching Welzheim, and now we can take a look at the arrival and the departure of our train. A very rare visitor in Welzheim. And that's already it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see when the next video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.